We got a crazy video, man. This is definitely gonna be one of the strangest cases that's going on right now because these people were shot in Minnesota. If you haven't heard, they were assassinated by a guy dressed up in the Walter White mask as a fake cop. I'll show some pictures. So this guy worked for Tampon Tim for 4 years. His wife worked for him for 4 years, and now a neighbor's coming out and saying that he was MAGA and that he's MAGA too. And he's married with kids, lives in a house, but he lives with this dude a couple days a week or something. It's the most bizarre thing ever. But this is the woman that one of them that he shot. And this was days before she got shot. And they voted on a bill to stop giving illegals healthcare for free on taxpayer dime. And look at how crazy she's acting. Like, she's like damn near ready to cry.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
She's disagreeing with the far left, which is just Democrats now. Democrats are far left. They want to give illegals everything for free. So now let's check out, they let this dude shoot them too. The cops were there and they let him escape, dude. Check this out. Okay, so here are some of the pictures of him in that crazy suit.
His own outfit and body armor. I want to bring in Catherine Christian and Tom.
So I don't know if this is the one where the cops confronted him, because he's got the lights on, it looks like, out front, and then he ran in and started shooting him. So either this was the first, I don't know which one this is. But either way, he was confronted twice by police. So a female officer found him when she went to go to his house and thought he was a cop. And he just ignored her when she was trying to talk to him. So she just bailed and left him there. It's in the clip of the guy giving the full report, but I don't want to edit it all in. It takes too long. But I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like. Crazy looking.
Enter back with me.
Approached Representative Hortman's home, again dressed as a police officer, wearing the tactical vest and body armor, and wearing that hyper-realistic mask. He was armed and carrying a flashlight. Before he entered the home, 2 Brooklyn Park police officers arrived at the scene. They too had been dispatched to check on Representative Hortman after learning of the shooting of Senator Hoffman. When they arrived at the scene, they saw Belter's black SUV parked in the driveway with the emergency lights flashing, and they saw Belter standing in front of the house several feet from the door. When Belter saw the officers get out of the car, he drew his weapon and began firing. He rushed into the house through the front door, firing into it. He repeatedly fired into the house, and when he entered, he murdered Representative Hortman and her husband. The Brooklyn Park police officers fired at Belter as he rushed into the home, but he...
And they didn't pursue.
...into the home and out the back.
So he ran into the house after he shot them. They did not pursue him, and then when he ran in the house, he killed those people. Those cops could have stopped this. They could have put him down, but they didn't. And then they let him escape through the back. This doesn't make any sense, dude. Why the cops were already there? If he's already shooting you, you have to engage with him. You don't just let him get away. Is that just so bizarre?
Recovered Belter's 9mm Beretta along with the body armor and the mask behind the home along his path of flight when he fled on foot. They later searched Belter's car, where they found 5 more firearms. Belter also had in his car notebooks containing a list of more than 45 Minnesota state and federal elected officials.
So first they said he had a manifesto. So now they're saying there's no manifesto. He just had a ton of notebooks. So there's no manifesto, there's a ton of notebooks. You could have stopped him killing them. The cops just let him get away.
Planned his attack carefully. He researched his victim.
On foot too. He was on foot. So he escaped on foot when these cops had a car that they could have chased him in.
and their families. He used the internet and other tools to find their addresses and names. He conducted surveillance of their homes and took notes about the location of their homes. He concealed himself as a police officer, outfitting his black SUV with police lights and a police license plate.
It was widely reported that the list, his hit list, contained names of people who are abortion rights supporters. And also, can you please release the names of the 2 other targeted victims who were fortunate to get away?
With respect to the other 2 potential victims, I think it's up to them whether they want to publicly identify themselves. As I said, it wouldn't surprise me if they do. They're elected officials, but that's their right. Obviously, they may have families and children and privacy interests that they need to sort through. So I'll let them do that. With respect to the potential motive, let me say this. There's been a lot of press coverage and speculation and discussion of a manifesto. I've seen nothing like a Unabomber-style manifesto in his writings. He had many, many notebooks full of plans, lists of names, surveillance, efforts that he took to surveil and locate the home addresses and family members' relationships with these elected officials. But I have not seen anything involving some sort of political screed or manifesto that would clearly identify what motivated him. Obviously, his primary motive was to go out and murder people. Now, they were all elected officials. They were all Democrats. Beyond that, I think it's just way too speculative for anyone who has reviewed these materials to know and to say what was motivating him in terms of ideology or specific issues.
Even asked about.
So now this is the friend, this like fat, greasy dude, and he's always wet. His hair's like always wet. I don't know if he's like, I think they kicked his door down or something because the whole doors broke off the hinges. And it looks like the window's busted out too. But before we get into that, okay, so a female cop had also pulled next to this guy. She thought he was an officer. She tried to engage with him. She was going to his house. She thought he was an officer. She went up to him and started talking to him. He just sat there and ignored her like a weirdo, like this, with his head down. And so she just walked away and left him there. Didn't call for backup, didn't say anything about it. So he got away twice. The cops let him go twice. And then, you know, all that other stuff happened. But now this is his buddy that claims he's like a MAGA.
Mr. Bolter's political affiliations, and David Carlson, once again his roommate and best friend, known him since 4th grade, did say Bolter voted for Trump and that he was a strong supporter, but he hasn't really talked about politics lately. And from what his friend knew, he had no idea that Bolter was interested at all in local or state lawmakers as well.
He just worked for Tampon Tim for 4 years, and his wife. That dude is like such a far left radical. How is he going to not like him and work for him for 4 years? And they said, first they told us Tampon Tim's on the list, and then they said they wouldn't release any of the names on his lists of his manifesto. So this is like all over the place.
Didn't even know the names of the lawmakers who were attacked today. The friend had no idea of Bolter even going to the state capitol. He never talked about state lawmakers, and that is some of the political affiliations that he told us about. Although he did have some ties in the Congo, apparently he flew out to D.C. to meet with an official.
Dead shortly, so I just want to let you know that I love you guys both, and I wish it hadn't gone this way. I don't want to say anything more and implicate you in any way because you guys don't know anything about this. But I love you guys, and I'm sorry for all the trouble this has caused. I mean, he was a loving, caring guy, you know, loved his family, loved his friends, and loved God, and I don't know why he did what he did. It's just...
You can't tell me he's a loving, caring guy when he just tried to murder 4 people, but murdered 2. 2 are in critical condition.
It's not fans. No one will believe this. No one that grew up. He had lots of friends, trust me. And I wish I could have been there to stop him.
So now they asked to see the guy's text messages. They're like, can we just see that? Like, because, you know, they could really use evidence. It's harder to report on something and say, oh, well, you know, we never saw anything. But he said we had to take his word for it. And it's like, who is this dude? This is like this random dude that he lives with a couple days a week. Like, what is going on here?
Photo of your phone screen left your pocket?
Yeah, I just don't want Jenny seeing it splashed on the.
Yeah, I mean, we want to run it big, but I mean, just
Yeah,
really
it's alright. I read it. That's
okay. That's fine. No, totally fine.
What time
Totally
was
okay.
that?
Totally okay.
6:17.
a.m.
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
So I just got over here. What did the text say?
They want him to read it again.
I can't.
They want him to read it again, and they want, because if they can get him to say word for word, they have confirmation.
Again, it takes too much out of me.
5 Eyewitness News, there was a traffic stop at a convenience store near Onamia. Between 10 and 11 a.m. this morning, law enforcement made a traffic stop involving a vehicle carrying several relatives of Vance Belter, including his wife. We have talked to an eyewitness who says about a dozen law enforcement squads converged on the vehicle and remained on the scene for 2 to 3 hours. We are also told by several of our sources the vehicle contained a weapon, ammunition, cash, and passports. To our knowledge, no one in that group has been arrested, just detained for questioning. She was being tracked. So this was not a random traffic stop. They had an idea of where she was, and they were able to track her.
So they've already reported she's been let go. How are you going to tell me she wasn't trying to help him escape? She obviously had some kind of burner phone and was contacting him through that. And this dude that says he has a text message from the shooter, why isn't the FBI or somebody confiscating his phone? That's evidence. He just said he had evidence right there, and he's just allowed to keep it? Like, when have they ever done that? When have they ever investigated a crime scene and had somebody say, oh, I have evidence right here? Nobody even asked me for it. Like, what is going on? This is, I don't know. I don't know what to make of all this, but I'm trying to keep this video short so people can absorb all this. But the other video I have of the here, I'll just play the last one of the roommate. So this is the last thing he says right before they stop talking to him. This dude has been loving all the attention he's been getting.
Norwegian, Swedish, yeah. But yeah.
Thank you. We don't want to take more of your time, so thank you so much.
No problem.
Thanks for entertaining.
I just want you guys to just not say crazy right winger gone nuts and you know, that was all he is, you know. It just bothers me that's his legacy. But I knew him all my life. He wasn't that guy, you know. You're gonna kill me.
So that's twice he's lost his stuff at the press. And, you know, it's just kind of weird, man. Like, he's painting him as a right-wing MAGA nut and then says, well, I don't want you guys to label him that. I don't want you to, like, what? I don't know what to think, man. I really don't know what to think. This is very strange. I mean, Tampon Tim has gone silent. He's only said, oh, we're going to miss those were my friends. We're going to miss them. It's like, dude, you got some explaining to do, man. But let me know what you think, man. This is very, very strange.